And the same thing. And then I go another couple miles, and then there's 2 state patrols pull me over. And they come out and they said, well, have you learned your lesson? And I'm acting dumb. I go, what lesson? Do you know who lives next door to you? No. The chief of the Washington State Patrol.
Oh, my goodness.
The head honcho for Washington State, police. I didn't know that. And I guess he wanted to teach me a lesson. It sure worked.
Holy cow, he put some thought and time and effort into that one. He must have really thought of you a little bit. Wow, that's kind of scary.
Well, on the road where I lived at, it was only me and a couple houses, okay? And that was it. Because we were kind of like in farmland, dairyland, actually. And so I would, take off my driveway and I would burn rubber once in a while just because the car would do it. Well, evidently he was noting it, and he wanted to, teach me a good lesson. Well, he did.
Yeah, I guess he did teach you a lesson. I bet you. Now, what did you have that same '63 Chevy too with the decals and the
No, this was an 1986 Corvette that was built up and had a lot of extra features on it, and it would go fast. Anyway, the VA refunds $400 million in mistake on home loan fees.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wish I'd have a chunk of that. Geez.
7 days ago, they did that. $400 million mistakenly given back. I mean, what do they do? Are they going to send you another bill after they accidentally give you a refund?
That's funny because you've talked about similar things like that where banks make an error. I think it was a real story, actually. They sent money to somebody and they want their money back, and if you don't send it back, you're in trouble. But I look at it like this. I don't got what money. I didn't receive no money. But I'm sure it was probably like a wire transaction anyway.
Yeah, again in Florida. Now, this could be connected with the first alligator, okay? Because this is from Reuters News Service. Florida man gets arrested after allegedly trying to get an alligator to bite his arm and drink beer.
That's got to be the same guy. Oh, my goodness. So, he don't understand why the alligator bit his arm or was about to bite his arm? I mean, probably
it says it was trying to get the alligator to bite his arm and drink beer. I don't know.
Maybe the alligator was too drunk to even bite down. That's just bizarre. I'll tell you, that Florida, they've got some stuff going on.
I think the atmospheric condition of the ionosphere is causing, a ripple all over Florida. But you know what? Instant karma. A carjacker jacks a car, right? 2 things happen. He jacks the car of the local chief of police. Second is when he, ditches the car after whatever he did, he loses his wallet on the seat. And he gets arrested.
Oh, my God. You talk about having bad luck. What would be the odds? You're going to jack a car and it's the police chief.
Yeah, you jack a car and it belongs to the local small town chief police. And that's number one, big mistake, correct? Number 2 is you drop your wallet on the seat as you get out of the car. And then with your wallet, there's your ID, right? Then they know who jacked your car. Do you know an Alabama man got arrested while he was washing his mirror, you're into mirrors, while naked in his front yard?
There's a lot going on with this story here now. Okay, so first of all, he's naked and he's washing his mirror, which must have been dirty, and out in the front yard. I wonder, maybe his clothes were in the washer at the same time. That's just bizarre. Now, it was in Alabama?
Alabama.
Wow. So I assume he got arrested or cited or something. I don't. Geez.
Well, they said they arrested him, so I guess, being indecent exposure out in public, I don't know why he'd be outside washing his mirror. He could be washing his mirror inside the house, but evidently maybe it was a hot day and he just wanted to go out there and enjoy the sun and get a tan everywhere.
It sounds like it. I know the neighbors probably didn't appreciate it. And if it was hot out and the sun's bouncing off there, he risked getting a severe sunburn, I'll tell you that.
In Alabama, a woman is so intelligent, right? She calls the sheriff's office to come and test her meth and make sure it's potent enough.
Oh, my goodness. Now, that just goes to show you how crazy that stuff makes you if you're actually going to call the police to have them check your meth. Oh, my God.
And then I'll do one more, and then you can do some. DirecTV. We know cable companies, right? They love us, right? I mean, look how much it costs to have. If you have internet and cable, you can pay as much as $180 some or $200 a month just to watch TV and get on the internet. It's crazy. But DirecTV charges a 102-year-old woman early termination fees after she dies and fails to pay her bill.
Wow, that's just ridiculous. I know I had a satellite a few years ago, and I had it for 1 month because they would not give me credit, to pay. I had to pay cash. And so I said, all right, I'll take 1 month's worth. So I had it 1 month, and it was such bad service, and quality was just rotten. So I said, okay, I packed it back up and sent it back to them. So then they call me and say they tried to extort me. If I did to people what they did to me, I'd get extortion charges. So they called me and say, well, you owe us for 3 more months. I'm like, how do you figure? You wouldn't give me no credit. I had to pay cash as I go. They said, no, it's automatic contract. You get 3 months no matter what, and you owe us 3 months more service. And I said, well, first of all, I didn't have your service. I returned it on time. And good luck with that, But they, for about a year, they kept saying, we want our money 3 months more. And it's like, I didn't even use the service at 3 months, and I give your stuff back. It was a cash buy as I go. It was buy as I go for them until I just continued. Then it was like, oh, no, you owe us 3 more months. I was like, yeah, okay.
They charge too much for cable. One last thing, and then we'll get into time travel and UFOs from some of your reports. This has been on the news like 2 weeks ago, but can you believe you're sitting there watching a game and the beer vendor is charging fans $724 for 2 beers? And what? Then he wonders why he got arrested. I mean, would you go and watch baseball or football or anything? In this case, it was football. Would you go out and pay $724 for 2 beers? Something is wrong.
That's beyond wrong. I mean, you can buy you can
buy a week's worth of beer and be drunk every day, let alone only 2 beers. Who would be dumb enough, on the other hand, to pay $724 for 2 beers?
That was my next question. That you must be rich to pay that much. That's crazy. Now, I haven't been to a live game for a few years. Probably been about 20 years. And the last time I was there, the prices were definitely gouged, but not near with that. That's beyond that. That's like 300 years in the future price or something. That's crazy. I couldn't imagine paying that.
Yeah, it's crazy. One last thing. Man severely burned. Now, this is, again, 2 weeks ago, after he fell into, Old Faithful. The thermal water is like 180 degrees and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a couple this summer. There was one guy that basically fell in, and the time they got him out, he was like cooked. I mean, don't they have some type of barriers where people can't accidentally fall in? How do you fall in something like that?
Yeah, really, they should have barriers. And not only that, I'm surprised they even let you that close because, there could at any time be dangerous gas coming out of there, or who knows. You're right in the middle of a super volcano, for the love of God. I mean, yeah, and it's boiling. That stuff gets you. It's going to take your skin off. Much less if you fall in it, you're pretty much instantly. That would be a horrible death too.
Hey, one last thing. One guy named Sexy Vegan, up on YouTube. Okay, he's very popular. Well, he gets arrested for sexually assaulting his dog.
Oh my God, no! Oh, say it ain't so. So
okay, it ain't so, but you talk about that. It's in the news. I mean, the guy he had a big following on YouTube. I think maybe that might kill it. What do you think?
I would say it might lose a few viewers, but my question is, how'd they catch him? Did the dog go down and report him?
He had it on YouTube.
Oh, he put that on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness! I thought he had a regular something else on YouTube, and he got caught on the side doing that. Wait a minute, that doesn't even make sense. Why would you do something like that and then put it out for everybody to? Oh, that don't even make sense.
Well, maybe it's a meth problem in his community. I have no idea, but I mean, it's some strange people out there. I can tell you that much. Now, time travel. Give me a couple.
All right, you ever see all them videos that's been floating around for years? Like the John Teeter in 2003 got the picture of the guy. It's from 1941. The guy, he's dressed like a modern person. Actually, he's got like modern sunglasses on, and it was from British Columbia. That was one incident. You ever see these pictures? Like the other one where the woman's she's carrying. It was in a movie clip. I think it was a Charlie Chaplin movie or one of them. Or
that's famous.
She's like looks like she's talking on a cell phone. I mean, it really does. Now, they try to say it's a hearing aid, but they've kind of debunked that because I don't think the hearing aids back then were quite like that.
Do you know how big a hearing aid was back then?
That's what
they used tubes. They didn't have transistors. A hearing aid was huge. So, no, right. I've seen that. That's absolutely no way that could ever have been a hearing aid.
That's what they were saying. There was no way that could be a hearing aid because they were so big, like you're saying, with the tubes and all. And that, I tell you, I don't know how to debunk that, but you can see her lips moving. She's definitely talking, you know. So, and back then in the 30s, what devices were there that you could be talking into and hold up to your ear?
Well, not many. Yeah, unless, maybe they were on meth. I doubt that, though. But seriously, when you think about it, I've seen that. I've seen that clip, and I have not been able to debunk that. A lot of people, have not been able to debunk it. But there's a lot of phony ones out there. I can trust you. Like some of these people that claim they've gone time traveling the future, like 80 years from now or 1,000 years from now, and they're showing photographs what the world looks like 1,000 years from now. Duh, are they going to have paper photographs 1,000 years from now? I think not.
Yeah, I've seen that. So, yeah, like if they're in the future, far as you say, why are they using what would be considered a real old antique to take a picture with? That's like an oxymoron in real time.
Well, that picture has been debunked, and that's a dead giveaway right there, okay? So anytime you see a photograph, and it's in the future of like 500 years or 1,000 years ago in the future, and they say, this is what the Earth looks like. Somebody is really good in Photoshop, and somebody's really good at lying.
Yeah, they are. That's just. I mean, come on. If you're gonna go all the effort to hoax something or fake something, think it all the way through. Don't use an antique camera from today to say, hey, here's a picture from a few hundred years in the future, or 1,000 years, or whatever it was. That's bizarre.
Try to go buy film.
That's a good one. Yeah. Where do you get your film at, man?
You have to go to a professional camera store to find film. Nobody carries film. Nobody even makes a lot of film anymore. Film is obsolete. It's gone. Passé.
It is gone. It is gone. I do got another little quick story here. A couple. Doesn't say what year it was. I don't think it was that long ago. But anyways, and it was New Year's, and they went to a bed. This guy went to a Bed Bath and whatever to get a pillow, and he met his friend for dinner, and it was right across the street. And he says it was New Year's Eve, and he said, "I want to buy you one of these pillows," and it was 5 minutes till 6 p.m. So she said, "Okay." So they go across the street, go in the store, and they say, "Hurry up, we're going to be closing 5 minutes. Please exit the store." They get the pillow. They exit the store, they get in the car. Now, they live 10 minutes away. So the next thing they know, when they're looking, they see a sign that says their city that they live in, which is 15 miles away. Now, it was what they call a time slip. Somehow they went through some kind of time slip, time warp, something happened. They should have been like 5 minutes from their house, but instead they were 45 minutes away and 15 miles. And they have no way to explain that. It really affected their psyche because, how do you handle something like that?
Very carefully, I'll tell you that. How do you explain it? But that happens to a lot of people. They lose time and they can't account for what happened. Why am I was this in California. Why am I now in Nebraska 4 days later? How did I get here?
Exactly, and it kind of ties in with UFO and alien abductions. A lot of people, they like the Hills, they were abducted and they were like few hours off from their destination of being too late or too